to The Arsenal, a Spiral Knights podcast hosted by Lord Hood, Lazarus Clay, and Zagreus.
Episode 85, recorded on July 13th, 2014.
This is Lord Hood.
I'm Zebramf.
And, hey, he's in the intro. And I'm Lazarus Clay, and welcome to The Arsenal, a podcast where we talk about Spiral Knights. Basically, replacing Zang with Zebramf, because we need more Zed in our life.
Alright.
More third host. More Zang come back to us to make this a 4-host podcast. But Zang, still, not responding to anything that we send him. For all the people that are asking, because I get asked a lot, Where's Zang? We don't know. We literally don't know. He will not respond to anything I send him, so don't know what's up. I have not tried Spiral Knight's mail yet, though, so maybe I should try that.
Maybe we've offended him in some way.
I don't know. It was one of those things where his computer broke, right? And then suddenly he's like, you know what? He came on one time and he was pretty interested. He was able to get on Skype through iPad and he was doing that for one episode, and then suddenly, poof, he's gone. Anyways, we got a lockbox here this week. It's another titanium lockbox because it's July, and that's the thing that's happening. So, I'm going to throw this one over to Hood to open.
Huh. Some, new stuff.
Wow.
Legion of Almire.
The Almire Legion is in there. The entire
Legion. All 1,000 of them.
It's like a clown car.
It is.
Yeah,
it just keeps spilling out. It's there's soldier bodies just piling up around us.
Yeah, actually, I've had to seal the lockbox in a hermetically sealed container.
Close it. We're drowning. Okay. What else you got in there?
Let's see. Besides titanium lockboxes, there's teleporters and lockdown.
What?
What's that?
Teleporters in lockdown?
What's that?
Question mark. Transmutations.
And then there's maybe I should just say it like this.
The game is trolling in more ways than one, so stay tuned to the end because we've got some little bits of trollish happenings of the game. So we'll go ahead and check that out in just a little bit. I suppose we should dive into our mission report straight off then and get into this. We've got some interesting stuff. That was a really obscure lockbox, but it means you'll have to stay tuned to see what we're actually talking about. Zang, how was your week?
So, Medicine, how was your week?
Bud, how was your week? Mission report goes something like this. Alright, so what have we been playing this week?
Well, I was idly in TF2 yesterday.
Did you get a lot of metal? Or a lot of weapons?
Yeah, a good number of them.
So you're going to turn them into refined and sell them on the market for energy?
Keys, yeah. Or keys and then energy.
That's a good business.
It's that's the only real energy generator. Idling in TF2 and then trading stuff for energy.
Exactly. Have you gotten into Spiral Knights at all this week?
Yeah, a little bit. Not too much, though. Just, guild hall and stuff.
Let's see what your
some market stuff. Auction house.
Uh-huh. Man, you're up to badge number 4 on Spiral Knights. It's pretty good.
What?
Still haven't managed to get past the second one.
I think
Got the first. Working on the second, but haven't gotten there yet. Gotta go for 5.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of people that have already got it, too. I'm like, I just don't want to spend, $2 just to get a badge on my Steam thing. I'm level 27 as it is. That's $30 worth of cards that I've just thrown into the void so I can have a number next to my name on Steam, as opposed to using it to, buy something.
I think I've got a friend that's up to level 60, which is crazy.
It's pretty good.
That's insane. It's a high number.
Mm-hmm. It's people that actually put money into the system to make it work.
Yeah. Someone's got to do it.
Money makes the world go round.
At least this world.
Zeb, what are you playing?
A little bit of Spiral Knights, a little bit of Smite, a little bit of everything, actually.
Everything?
I think I've hit a good 20 different games in my library this past week. Just because I want to play everything.
It's kind of cool.
Yep, I like variety in my games.
Like, What's one of the obscure ones that you picked up?
Let's see here. We've got Puzzle Pirates.
Well, hey. That's a good game choice.
Yeah.
Alright.
I played it for like an hour with some friends, and then I turned it off and played Smite, because Smite is fun.
Smite is fun.
Smite is very fun.
Well, I've not played very much. I kind of tend to watch Smite play League, but is what it is. I've decided that I wanted to try and 100% Binding of Isaac finally, so I picked that up, and I'm close, but not quite there yet. Playing a little bit of Awesome Knots to get my rank up, because that's a fun game. When you can't play a full game of League and you want to play one of your little battle arena games, I jump into Awesome Knots because I enjoy those types of games.
It's in the name. Awesome Knots is awesome.
There you go. It's a type of game where, like, me and my overthinking self can actually overthink a game like that, but no one minds because it actually contributes somehow. So that's kind of fun. And then Spiral Knights, I've actually been doing some work with Maximus Efficiency just behind the scenes, and it's mainly just me running Jelly King over and over again. I think I've only beaten it one other time, but it's just there for me to get some crowns and get some tokens. Like, there's really no point in everyone watching it again and me sitting there and commentating, because you could do it yourself. Most people watching have done it themselves. I've already shown how I did it once, and so for me to just like sit there and offer minimal commentary while I run it 5 more times would be kind of lame. So that's why I'm not recording it.
Are you at least streaming it for people to watch, in case they're interested?
Not streaming it at the moment, mainly just because it's a little bit of a hassle. It's like, here, let me just jump on at any point in time, like even at school or whatever, and I can just go ahead and jump in and...
Right.
Teach me how to commentary. I
Commentate.
wouldn't know how to do that.
Is it commentary or commentate?
I am a teacher, but I'm not a commentator, so I don't know how that works.
You just repeat what's happening in the world, and then vary the tone of voice with everything that happens, and you should be okay.
As Greenlink says, first you need to learn how to words in English good. Then you can start commentating.
Yep.
Then you can start commentary.
Words to live by.
I was thinking of doing LPs, but I can't English. Glacius has some good, dry, witty humor. He'd be a good person to watch. If he does it, he'll be one of those sneaky people that's suddenly at 3 million subscribers on YouTube or something like that. One of those really popular streamers, just kind of...
the underdog that no one sees coming.
Exactly. And I'll be like, hey, I was the one who taught this guy how to play League of Legends. When he's like Diamond 1 Thresh player, Thresh support or something. Anyways, sorry, this is a Spiral Knights podcast. But the derails are awesome, and I kind of like them.
This is the mission report.
The most we should deviate is like Puzzle Pirates, because that's still 3 rings. And maybe Sega games, I don't know, but...
Yeah. Other thing about Maximus Efficiency, actually, is that the sprite needs an Evo catalyst now. And I'm kind of waiting to buy that, A, for energy prices to go down, and B, until I can actually get some time to record an episode.
Don't you get one from missions?
You do not get an Evo Catalyst, no. You get the next one, but you do not get the first one, as far as I can tell. The wiki says you don't, and I definitely don't have one, and I'm already at the Royal Jelly, so...
Maybe when you were a player who, like, was Vanguard back then, you might have gotten one for being Vanguard.
I don't know. They may have changed it. I thought you got one, and I was like wait, why don't I have one?
I remember getting one. I never bought one from the auction house, or not from a buy depot. So, maybe someone gave one to me.
Well, if I'm sure you get one of each. That's what I thought too, but I don't have one in my inventory. It's like,
What rank are you?
I am, again, I'm at the Royal Jelly.
Okay.
So Knight, I guess not Knight Elite, but Knight. Anyways, good deal. We got to talk about the Almire Legion and people that break Haven, because that's a thing that happened this week. Let's go. Overheard at Warcraft Manor. From the helmet of someone who likes some creature that prolongs their horn to fight with or something like that.
The helmet is supposed to be resembling to a demon called...
Alright. News and discussion. Literally nothing from Spiral Knights this week. No promotions. Nothing. There was just one post that went up on other social media that says, hey, don't forget that the Slime event is ending soon. And, like, Fan Art Friday, which is normal.
It's a nice change of pace from the constant barrage of all these different promotions.
It is.
I think it went like Raid to, let's see, Apocria to Slime. I'm pretty sure I'm missing one somewhere in there.
I don't know, unless you're thinking Titanium is in there somehow.
I wouldn't call that a promotion.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of weird to have a completely quiet week.
Yeah.
But anyways, Sky says Solstice before Apocria.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
Sky is like, between Sky and Glacies, they're like the demigods of Spiral Knights. Like, they're omniscient in their knowledge, and they're omnipotent in their ability to do anything in the game. It's kind of ridiculous. Anyways, we did have some unofficial news this week, and this happened yesterday. There was a knight, and his name is... Let me look it up. Some of you were probably at this. It is Noxious Narwhal. Oh, so I've heard of this guy. And he was giving away over 10 million crowns worth of things in one of the havens. He is from the guild Lionheart, and he was doing it kind of in the name of Lionheart, it seemed like.
Yeah, he's a relatively new officer.
And, Hood has the inside a little bit, because you're in Lionheart, right?
Yes.
Are you officer or GM?
I'm retired officer.
Retired officer, alright. And so he goes and does a giveaway, and there were enough knights in the one instance of Haven to break Haven, and this has happened before with other events where an instance got overloaded.
In fact, it's happened before with Lionheart. Remember the, I think it was Tev's Great Big Contest hosted in the Lionheart Guild Hall? And it created multiple Guild Hall instances, and people couldn't get into the Guild Hall one instance. There were so many people in it.
I think that one was on, like, by game design. Once you put enough stress on one server, it makes the second one.
Yeah, but it wouldn't let you join into the first one, so...
Oh, I see.
That was the problem.
Yeah, that was Tev's Great Big Contest 2.0, right?
Yes.
So that was last year, at about this time.
Mm-hmm. It
And
happens.
I don't know. He had enough people in Haven to, like, break the Havens, and now there are 9,000 of them. Over 9,000. Quite literally.
Over 9,000.
So there are people running around in Haven 666, and people running around in Haven 420, people running around in Haven 9321, and those are all things.
Actually, I don't think that's the case right now. Maybe back when it was a thing, but right now it skips from 76 to like some 9,900 Haven.
Oh. Well, maybe I'm wrong then. I don't know. I've not actually logged on and looked.
Well, I'm on right now, and I'm just giving facts.
Well, there you
I was
go.
I was hearing stuff yesterday about Haven 666.
Yeah, screenshots of 666 is happening. There's still Haven 9000. Alright. Anyways, they broke it, and if you want to... This problem seems to be persisting. Problem in quotes. We'll see when they revert it back to normal and what will happen.
Yeah, it's a weird error. It's like it's not something you would think would usually happen. I mean, it's obviously not purposeful.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like a... I don't know how to describe it. It's just a weird thing.
What I'm curious about is are there the same number of instances as there were before the numbers changed?
I
Because
don't know.
if they created more instances, I'm curious how that works with the servers, because there's only a certain amount of server strength that
Yeah,
can...
did it like spread out server strength by
did it,
9,000?
like, spread them out, or is there like reserve server space that they're just not using? Like,
I mean, they don't obviously need as much server space for empty servers, so I mean...
But does it just draw from those? Because obviously they need more during bigger events when more people log on and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of weird. I'd just be curious to know how many more instances there are now than there were before. And if that is indeed the case, where that extra server strength came from.
Well, I know there used to be more servers than there were before this glitch thing. Like, there used to be more Havens instances. I mean, now it kind of skips around sometimes. Sometimes, like, Haven 1 doesn't exist. Sometimes Haven 4 doesn't exist, you know. I've seen it happen in different ways.
Yeah, but it seems to be persisting. We'll see how Spiral Knights fixes it.
As of right now, the current instances of Havens that you can enter are the default 1 through 6 for English, Haven 25 for the French, 51 for Germany, 75 through 77 for Spanish, and then 9,321 through 9,324 English, French, German, and Spanish, 1 for each.
Huh.
So
it
there's a lot of
appears that it
skipping
did
around,
glitch it,
but I think
though.
it's the same number of instances.
But there didn't used
maybe
to be
tack on an extra 1 or 2.
It looks like it added 4 right now. Because it didn't used to be a English, French, German, and Spanish. It used to be compartmentalized.
Is up every single day.
It's something maybe worth counting. Count the broken one now and then count the normal one later.
Mm-hmm.
Or something, I don't know. Interesting.
I wonder how they're going to fix it, though. I mean, or maybe like just reset it or something.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what was like wrong. Like
as of right now, there's 15 Haven instances. As of the day after this whole incident happened, give it a few days and we'll recount it and get a better idea of what's going on, maybe.
Which means potentially, first someone should submit a bug report. I'm sure somebody already has, but it's probably worth doing. It's that crowd effect where everyone thinks everyone else is going to do it and no one does. A bug report is probably worth submitting. And then also, where was I going with this? I don't even know, darn it. Why am I blanking suddenly? Oh, that's so bad. Well, maybe it'll come back. Oh, we may get one of those, like, things that used to happen a long time ago. Remember the old daily server reboots?
Yeah.
It was a thing. It was starting to become so much of a consistent thing that people that were on would say, the server is about to reboot in 90 minutes. And they would say it, and then the notice would pop up.
Yeah.
Right underneath. And the server will reboot.
The world is ending in 5 minutes.
And it was a daily thing for a while. And then suddenly they just stopped. And everyone's like, wait, why did they stop? And I'm still... Maybe someone has an explanation, but I don't know it. And
I certainly don't.
We may have one of those, just one, possibly, to fix Lionheart's breaking the game once again. And if you too want to break the game of Spiral Knights, well, you're going to need like 10 million crowns worth of prizes to give away. Because in both cases, Tev's Great Big Contest 2.0 and this giveaway, there was lots of stuff
There's like
involved.
Hundreds of people in one instance.
Yeah, you have to draw that many people, so it's not like you can just get your friends to all have a party. You kind of need incentive. And Glacy says they got somewhat better servers and it's been split, so rather than resetting the game to reset all havens, they just reset selected havens. Interesting. It'll most likely reboot on Monday. See? Glacy's Spiral Knight's demigod. Not to say that his words are completely credible, because I don't know where he got his information, but at the same time I generally trust the guy. Because he knows his way around.
I remember one time when I was just hanging out in Haven, the Haven just reset, like that one instance reset, and the bunch of people were like, what happened? And we noticed that like the veteran knights that are in the bazaar and the ones that were south of Haven, they disappeared. So they basically did an update of Haven right in front of everyone. Didn't even restart the game. It was like reloading Haven almost. Like when you lag out and have to reload a level.
Right.
It was just like that. Except things were missing, and it was weird, and I don't know.
Interesting.
Weird. I think that was a few days ago.
Well, you know what else is interesting in a few days ago? Is the Legion of Almire Danger Mission.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What is the Danger Mission today? It might actually be today, so I don't know. I can't say a few days ago.
It's Heart of Ice today.
A few days ago, and interesting. Legion of Almire. We're going to go ahead and discuss the Danger Missions, in case you're one of those people that doesn't know how to get through Danger Missions. Then we can, like, point you to this specific part of this specific episode or something like that. I don't know. We have all types that listen to this podcast, including people that don't play the game, which is kind of weird. Like,
friends are friends.
It's kind of cool, but it's like, do you have better things to fill your ears? I don't know. So, some information about Legion of Almire as a danger mission. It's a replayable mission. It appears once every, 4 or 5 days? How many danger missions are there now?
I think there's 5.
So, once every 5 days.
Let's see, Heart of Ice, Ghost in the Machine, Compound 42, Legion of Almire. Is it only 4?
Is there an Assault on Machine Shop 13, I think? Was that one?
No, that's a daily. Grinchland Assault is seasonal, so there's 4.
Yeah,
There's
there's 4. Okay.
Alright, so every 4 days. This was the first one that came out in June of 2012. So it's been around for a couple years now, actually. It feels like it's less than that. It's a prestige mission, so you get it through hitting the M button on your keyboard or clicking missions, going to the prestige tab, and so long as you are rank 4-1 and above, i.e. if you're tier 2 cleared, then you can do this mission. It's supposed to be extra kind of hard, and they said, like, but you get bigger rewards out of it. And this is something I actually want to talk about before we get into the actual level, because when Danger Missions came out, they said, like, these Danger Missions have extra reward at the end, right? And they do. They have a prize room at the end. But, like, the extra challenge this is what... it's composed thoughts, that isn't... This came out before rarities did. So, prize boxes were still only sparks, pickups, like, heat crowns, and by sparks I mean Forged Spark, Grim Spark, the other spark, the red one. And so the point is, you go through it. I know on my tier 2 run through Legion of Almire, I'll pick up 3,000 crowns doing it. I pick up more than 3,000 crowns doing Ironclaw Munitions Factory on Elite. And so, crowns-wise, I get more from a boss level that's much, much easier than this Legion of Almire business. And then before rarities came out, Legion of Almire didn't actually have... The prize room didn't actually do anything for you. It was the same thing. It's just a more concentrated source of heat and crowns, but... like,
yeah, because before you could get tons and tons of heat from there. And now it's like stuck at whatever level you're going to get. I mean,
that's true too, I guess, yeah. You could continually heat things, but...
You could heat things up really high, but now you're stuck doing one level at a time.
Right. So, point is, in the old days, greater rewards meant heat. And that's really it. There wasn't much else to gain in greater reward from picking up the difficulty. After rarities were added, there's a big prize room at the end of every danger mission. The third mission is just a giant prize room with someone knows the number. I'd imagine 90-something boxes in the room. Somewhere in the range of close to one... maybe not that many. I don't know. I say 90 because there was like that many in Gridgeland Assault, but I can't remember. Have not done the counting. There's a lot of them, and now they drop rarities, so it's a nice place to pick yourself up some fire crystals. But
yeah.
I do not know. It's kind of weird, to be honest, why they say greater rewards, unless they were already planning the rarities stuff. But in that case, I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
I don't know what either.
So
it's an interesting thought.
Yeah, I notice lower crowns, higher rarities. That's the experience I have nowadays. Back in the day, before rarities, lower crowns, lower rarities. It's at least in tier 2. I don't know how tier 3 scaling works. I don't know how the scaling works in tier 3, so I cannot say, and you may be yelling at me right now and saying, hey, it doesn't work like that in tier 3. I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's just for the tier 2 ones of us, I can speak for us. I do know that none of the three of us regularly run Legion of Almire. Us three hosts.
I don't do danger missions whatsoever. When we did shopping lists at season 3 or 4, I don't remember. That was the first time I think I'd ever done Legion of Almire.
Oh, that's true. And we were telling you about like the stuff.
Yeah, I did okay.
You did. So.
And then I tried to do it with other people about a week later, and yeah, it didn't work out too well. Don't know why. Probably just because maybe they didn't know so much. But danger missions are hard. Needless to say.
Alright. Grainlink and Skyseth are also noting that crowns seem to vary greatly between runs. They're talking about anywhere from 2,500 to 4,500 crowns. So it almost seems like it's a gamble whether you're going to get a higher or lower payout than the average from your equivalent boss or arcade stratum, which will give you 3,000 or 4,000.
Sounds like fun to me. I like to gamble.
There you go.
It's not a good condition to have, but whatever.
But if that condition didn't exist, then lockboxes wouldn't get open.
Exactly.
And we'd have a much sadder world.
You may get a penny. You may get 2. Go die for them. Smiley face. Sky Scythe 2014.
Great. Don't. You can obey some of the advice of the Swallow Knights demigods, but use discretion.
Alright.
So, what's in these levels is almost exclusively undead. There's slumbers, and there's silkwings. And then there's a bunch of zombies. And that's it. So...
And lots of bombies.
Yes.
Bombies. Don't like bombies.
and cats, and Deadnots and Almire Crusaders. So there's these 3 special monsters that are in Legion of Almire, and they are the only ones to have Deadnots. Deadnots are they are very reminiscent of the 2 Slagwalkers that appear in the Throne Room of Vanaduk in his 5th phase, or 3rd phase, depending on who's counting. And they kind of run around, except these guys also have a totem circle around them, a grim totem circle, so they revive zombies around them until you kill them. And they have about as much health as a Slagwalker.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And they're unlike the Slagwalkers, I think these are undead, so weak to elemental, not piercing.
Yes. Also, Glacius is saying Ghost in the Machine has one too, and he is right about that. So, okay, just kidding. There is one Deadnot, or a couple of Deadnots in Ghost in the Machine. But that's what those guys are, and they show up mainly in the second the second level. There's Almire Crusaders, which are these dead. They look like dusty dead zombies that are red with shields.
They're almost like knights in like size and stature.
Yep, almost maybe like they're sitting and sleeping.
Yeah.
And then you whack them and they wake up, and they have a shield, and their shield logic works very similar to that of a Mecha Knight, except they have the dodging mechanics. They can slide around on the floor a little bit, and they've got a lance to stab you with. And the stab is very reminiscent of a flourish charge. So he covers a lot of ground, and he stabs at you very quickly, and you want to be careful.
Or you'll get skewered.
Or you will get skewered, and it kind of hurts.
And turn into a shish kebab.
They can turn while they're attacking too, but obviously good maneuvering or just dashing past them while they're charging at you, and then they'll miss, and it's fine. And then the last one are Bombies, and these are zombies with very low health, and when they get within proximity of you, they self-destruct, or when you bring them down to low enough health, they self-destruct with an explosion around them, and in Tier 3 they also launch 4 bullets like a Griever attack when they die.
Yes.
And so these guys sometimes come one by one, sometimes they come in hordes, and then there's just a bunch of bullets everywhere, and
then it becomes a bullet hell game.
Pretty much.
It becomes try to dodge as many as you can, but you won't be able to get all of them.
LS Angel says Bombies are Spiral Knight's creepers. Something like that, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess so. Creepers that fire bullets when they explode.
There's some Bombies that will have drops when they drop. There's a lot of them that just respawn, or if you ever see them in large clusters or respawning, those are the ones that will never drop anything. So there's particularly, I suppose, in the second level, Bombies generally don't drop anything. In the first level, they can.
Yeah. And
that's it. So there are 3 floors in Legion of Almire. The first one is somewhat random. It's kind of like a graveyard without phantoms, and it's got some predefined rooms that you will sometimes encounter. Not unlike the arcade in that way. The second has a fixed layout, and you just kind of do the same thing over and over again, and there's certain strategies for that. We'll get to that in just a second. And then the third level is the treasure room, where all your shining fire crystals await, and just a handful of radiance and a lot of heat. So, gear to bring for this adventure. Obviously, there's a lot of dead things, and dead things are weak to the elements, I guess. So, your elemental weapons are really strong here. This is one of the only places where I'd say Glacius is actually really good.
Hurrah!
Because the crowd control is actually really, really helpful here, because there's a lot of crowds in all danger missions, but particularly here, where the zombies, there's no status to them. So, on that note, resistance generally isn't required either. But
I think bringing a Voltaic is also a good idea, because Shock is always very good at crowd control.
Shock is also, that's probably first or second best, depending on what you like, what kind of crowd control you like, because the behavior is slightly different, whether you want a conditional freeze or a full freeze. And generally, Voltage might even be better. Point is, they're better probably than the Combustor, because you want to be able to lock guys down. It's really helpful to do. And if you've got the extra slot, the Warhammer is also pretty good. The Rocket Hammer can make quick work of a lot of those undead, if you can get a combo off. So Elemental's good. Range is also really good for kiting if you are one of those people that is good at kiting. Blitz Needle is not mandatory in this mission, but it's really helpful because when you're soloing a blitz charge on a Deadnought, that's just Almire Crusader, that's just sleeping there. You just walk up to him with a charged blitz, you fire it into him, he dies. It's the great.
You have 4 people doing that at the same time though, and it's just disappears right before your eyes.
Foosh. Blitz Needle goes well with everything, basically, in the words of Greenlink. So it's quite good. Maybe a little less useful at the beginning, a little more useful at the end. But you can't go wrong. I'd say if you've got 2 weapon slots and you bring a Glacius and a Blitz Needle, or a Voltage and a Blitz Needle, you can't go wrong with that, really. But kiting is just really good in this mission because there's lots of enemies in lots of tight spaces, and so range is really nice. So Argent Peace, also for shooting down bombies where you don't have to get up in their face. So Argent Peacemaker's good, Alchemers are also good. Again, preferably Voltec or Cryotech, and their Hail Driver, Storm Driver equivalents. Again, resistance generally not required, you just want to bring your Shadow Defense for all of the zombies that are coming at you. If you can get some Snarblacks on, that's probably really good for your damage bonus to help kill things pretty quick. And there are lots of hordes in this mission. Every room where you step on a party button, save for maybe one room that I'm thinking of with the line that you don't want to step over, has lots of
Mobs
crowds.
will like to gang up on you.
Mm-hmm. So
that's if you're with the party, stick together. If you're solo, you obviously have a plan because you're doing it solo.
So bring some CC, bring some hard crowd control. CC is what the crowd control and CC. That's what I mean by that, because that's what the abbreviation stands for.
Crowd control, CC.
Yeah, Electron Vortex is good. Shiver Mistbuster's really good if you can get someone who has it. Stagger Storm's okay. It's perfectly valid. And then for utility, though it's not CC, Venom Veiler is actually excellent in one instance, which is the very last fight. If you can get one person to bring a Venom Veiler on the second level, because the last fight has respawning Silkwings and respawning Almirian Crusaders, and it also has Deadnoughts and Bombies running around. So the Deadnoughts in this tight room are reviving all of the zombies. The Almirian Crusaders, with lots of health, like take a full blitz charge to barely kill in solo, are respawning.
Silkwings are constantly healing everything.
Yeah. So a Venom Veiler simplifies that room a good bit, makes things die easier, keeps the Silkwings from doing anything. Generally not bad. It's not mandatory, but it's helpful if you can get. I don't think it's, especially if you're going solo or duo, I don't think you should bring a Venom Veiler. Blitzes would be probably better in that regard. So, there you go. And then, the last thing here, Greenlink put this in. I didn't actually know this, but barriers, as in like the pickups, can be used to attack Deadnoughts and Almirian Crusaders from the front. So though they have shields, I guess barriers go through the shields. So if you want to walk up to a guy and hold your shield up and go shield to shield with him and bump into him and barrier him, it does decent-ish damage.
That sounds about right.
You can get the status on, so
You
might be
barrier
good.
person?
The only thing that I think would be worth noting here is, well, I don't know. Let's talk about this priority of killing things, because though we don't run it very much, there's obviously bad ways to do it and good ways to do it. You got Deadnoughts that are respawning zombies, you got Howitzers that don't get respawned and they're shooting at you, and then you've got zombies. Mm-hmm. So what's the order that you kill things in? Because I have actually been in parties where people are like, nah, I'm just going to shield bump the zombies into a corner and kill them to reduce the crowds, and then we'll pick on the big guys. And I don't agree with that. But
I wouldn't necessarily agree with that, because you don't want to die while you're trying to kill those things.
Exactly, but they say you don't want to die while you have all those little guys that are dropping crowns for you, and you don't want to die fighting the big guys before you can take on the little guys.
Yeah.
It's interesting a little bit. My way of doing it is kill the Howitzers, kill the big guys, kill the small guys. Howitzers first, because you don't want the poke and having to worry about dodging.
Yeah.
Then worry about
dodging
killing
is
the
a
bigger
pain.
guys, and then you can kill all the little guys at the end.
Glacies is saying take up the Crusaders first, followed by Silkwings, and then everything else.
Crusaders are a lot harder in a group, even worse when you're trying to dodge everything else.
Makes sense.
It's true. Also, while I'm thinking about it, Fang of Vogue is actually really good in this mission. Surprisingly, because Fang of Vogue does a good bit of damage against the Deadnots, the walking zombies with revives around them. Also does good work on Crusaders and lots of crowds. So I'd be interested to see what a full Vogue, like Vogue armor for the Resistance Fang of Vogue Knight, could do in that mission. Be kind of interesting.
Maybe something we'll have to test out one of these days.
Yeah, we should do that sometime. Just get some... I don't have Vogue is the problem.
I don't either. We'd have to do Raina Duke to get that.
Vogue doesn't give me, as in like the Vogue armor, the Vogue Cub set.
Oh.
Because that doesn't give me damage bonus. And if it doesn't have damage bonus, what's the point?
Exactly.
Lol.
Scover all the way, my friend.
It looks awesome.
Fang of Vogue is powerful, but it's too risky to use the charge attack. For once, usually, yes, that's true. I disagree in this one case where the room that's it's got the gates on the two sides, and it's very rectangular, and it's got bombs and ghost blocks where you're trying to get a key. Like that room, it's got lumbers in it, it's got respawning bombies. Just get in there and do a Fang of Vogue charge. Things die. I've seen it, I've done it, you want it to happen. It's pretty good. Grand Foss charges is not good unless you're looking to have some fun. That's never good. But Fang of Vogue is actually pretty strong, and one of, as Glacy says, as I was about to say, one of the best charges in the game. You just gotta know what you're doing. So, means don't spam it on that kind of stuff. And don't bring max damage bonus unless you're an idiot, because the fire damage increases the more damage bonus you have, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We've broken this down before. If you want, you can look up our Thing of back when we were talking about statuses and stuff like that. The only room... Well, I don't know. Do you guys have any other opinions? Like, kill Howitzers, kill Crusaders, kill Silkwings, kill big guys, kill small guys? Is there any strategy you would theorize would make sense or not make sense?
I would theorize that taking out the Silkwings would be probably the best thing to prioritize, because if things don't have healing, then their health, even if you don't take them all the way down, just get them down low enough, and it'll stay there while you take care of something else.
That's why I like to have one guy with a Venom Veiler at the end.
That is useful. Glacies has modified and says Howitzer greater than Crusader, greater than Silkwing, greater than everything else. I'd prioritize Silkwings over Crusaders myself, but that's because I don't bring a Venom Veiler on the run generally. Anyways, it's also very nice to have at least a duo in this run so that you can split the aggro. You don't have everything in the world coming after you. Because, again, the last fight is just... Again, the omnipotent demigods of Spiral Knights have soloed it, and Skyscythe solos it regularly. I've never soloed it before. I've never beaten it without more than a couple sparks, regardless of how many are in my party.
I play it... I've beaten it without any sparks with 3 people.
It's pretty good. Maybe I'm just bad. Too aggressive or something.
But I can play with 2 people, too. I might use spark or 2.
Nice. The second level, this is one thing to note, just a basic strategy. The second level, after the first fight, there's just a basic fight in the first room. You have a choice of going left or right. People have opinions about which one is better. Honestly, it's like choosing rooms in the Jelly Palace. It doesn't matter. If you're going to fight over it, don't fight over it. If your teammate's going to insist on going the other way, go the way that he's going. It's not a big deal. There's going to be people that say, no, dude, seriously, left is better, right is better. I'm of the very strong opinion, because I've done it multiple ways both times and heard lots of arguments for it, that it does not matter which way you go. Perhaps you can get more hearts more reliably going left side first, because it's easier, the fights are easier. So if you're looking for hearts, maybe take the left side first. Yeah. But that's like saying, I'll do the easiest room, the southwest room in the second level of the Jelly Palace first in hopes of getting hearts. It's like, there's no guarantee, and you're still doing fighting, so I don't know. It doesn't actually matter how you do it. One thing, though, is left side, there's a... Oh, man, which side is it? It's left side, right? It's the one with the line that you never cross. There's a room with some fighting, and it's a pretty vertical room. The key's at the top. I think it's the left side. Pretty sure it's the left side.
Yeah, it's the left side.
And there's a line where it looks like gates pop up. I think, in fact, gates are up there for a little bit. You never cross that line. This is why you bring some range, because what happens is, on your side of the line, there's some enemies that spawn, and you kill them, and then they're dead. A couple of cats and Almire Crusaders and a Howitzer, I believe. Beyond the line, there's like 5 Crusaders that are just sitting around, like in their neutral state, and a bunch of Howitzers and Silkwings that are waiting to spawn on you. If you don't cross the line, you can shoot the Almire Crusaders one by one, wake them up, and then kill them on your side of the room. Shoot the next one, kill it, and repeat the process for all of the Crusaders. Then you go in and it's just Howitzers and Silkwings. It's much easier. If you cross the line, everything wakes up at once, and you're in a tight little room with spikes and fire, and it hurts.
And it's not fun.
I remember that. See that one guy who's never done it before? He starts running forward, like, no, stop. Don't go that way. Not yet.
Right. Sky Scythe, 3 Howitzers, about 6 cats, and I think 2 or 3 Silkwings. Alright, thanks, man. And I know he's not talking in that tone, but there's a lot of things that you don't want spawning. Stay on your side. It's almost to the point where it's so common to know that you kind of forget to tell people, and that has happened before. That happened to me my first time through. I was actually with a party of 2 other people, I think, in Gempire. And they're just like, alright, let's do this room, and I walk across the line, and they're like, wow, noob. And it's true. You'd never walk across that line until everything is dead. Like all the Almire Crusaders everywhere on the map. Well, in the room anyways. So it's just one of those things to be aware of if you're planning on picking it up or doing it, is just remember to stay behind that line. Because it's so common of a understanding now that you may not even be told by your party. So knowing beforehand is kind of helpful.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I'm not thinking. I can't remember if there are any other secrets other than Crusaders generally will stay. Crusaders in your fighting rooms will generally stay asleep until you bump them or until the last wave and they all wake up. So what I often see is I will see people whittle down a wave of enemies that have all spawned to just one guy, then keep him away and kill the Crusaders, then kill that last guy. And I think that's a very valid strategy.
Yeah. How many waves are there total?
I don't know. It varies per room.
Because you could
also
wake up 1 Crusader per wave or something like that if you wanted to.
You could do that. Again, just keep one guy in the corner, just like one zombie, keep shield bumping him away when he's the last one of your wave. Kill the Crusaders, so that way they don't all spawn with the last hardest wave at the end anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
Greenlink is saying that that's the right side we're talking about. It's a vertical room. One of them is a very horizontal room with respawning bombies. That one has no rules except, again, whittle down the waves so there's just one guy left, then kill the Crusaders and try not to bump them beforehand.
Beat everything until it's dead.
Yeah, the other room is a vertical room with gate that you never cross. So, everyone has their own strategy. That's just some of the basic stuff. If you do it a lot, I'm sure you have your own strategy, and you know what? That's cool. If you want to send us your strategy for our next one for next week, which is Compound 42, go ahead and let us know. For all the people in the chat, they're like, do this, do that, do this. You can send us what you want, and we can sift through them. Gracie's saying it is the left side. Okay, I was right. So if you've got your Compound 42 strats, let us know. We can get to that next time. Last thing is that, as with all danger rooms, you can change your gear in the prize room. So you use whatever you want in Legion of Almire and just survive. Get to the prize room at the end, go ahead and switch to 2 things or 3 or 4 things that need heating.
Yeah.
And then break all the prizes, get all the heat, get on the elevator. You can also just switch to a pulsar and break all the boxes really quick. And then switch off. I mean, whatever you want to do. Compound 42, looking forward to is pretty fun. It's the one that I do regularly. And there we go. The Almirian Legion. We can stuff them back in the lockbox now.
How will they fit? Get that magician. Your cousin's a magician, right?
I don't know.
He can stuff rabbits into hats.
I wouldn't know.
Doug Ladison. Stuffs rabbits into hats.
Maybe.
And like steals people's puppies and stuff. Puts them in a hat.
I don't know. I'm not a magician. Thug Ladison's not a magician either. He's just a street thug. I don't know. I don't keep track of him anymore.
He died or something.
He kind of shows up.
Anyways, sprint question. 60 seconds to answer. So,
Okay.
along the lines of the discussion, would Almirian Crusaders have a place in the normal Clockworks? And then why or why not?
They're
It's
like
a-
knights, aren't
I
they?
don't think so.
It's a pretty wild question. I would... Why not, Zeb?
I don't know. I think it's just the fact that they're already in like their own unique little mission, and if they were just put out in the Clockworks, then they wouldn't really feel like such a unique enemy to one certain mission. They'd just be like, oh, it's just these guys again. And that's not really what I'd like. What I like about those guys, I like that they're just in one mission. You can only find them in one place, and you have to get through a lot of work just to get to them.
Right. I think that along with both the lore and for mechanics, that it would be cool to see them in the Scarlet Fortress, maybe. Not that those levels need to be any harder, but
Well, they're not that bad.
they're
not that hard.
But the Craviat halls, or whatever, however you say that, and the Scarlet Fortresses, I could see a few Almirian Crusaders in there,
Maybe.
just for the stylization and looks and stuff. But
Maybe a Crusader scenario room. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, scenario room type
That'd
thing.
be,
Just
I
like
think
lore,
that'd be a
added
kind
lore.
of cool thing to stumble upon. Something cool to stumble across while
right,
you're just adventuring.
or even a graveyard. I don't know. Doesn't it make sense that they would be in a graveyard?
Yeah.
Maybe not even like commonly, but random. Like you gotta one. It's like almost a rare monster kind of thing.
Yeah.
I gotta
Like instead
one
of a zombie like unearthing an Almirian Crusader just pops out of the dirt.
Exactly.
Okay, I can see that.
Well, good deal. Compound 42 next time. If you want to know something about Compound 42, a question, let us know. If you've got the strategies because you're a Compound 42 demigod, then maybe we want to hear it, maybe we don't. Depends on who. No, send it in. I'm kidding. Alright, we got some transmutations. A transmutation, so let's get into that, I suppose.
A chance mutations.
Dead
Transmutations.
segment.
Yeah.
It has a
And
pulse.
now what you've all been waiting for.
Our idea this week, our transmutation, not transmutations as the bumper would say, comes from Snake's S17, and he's suggesting lockdown teleports. So this would work. The mechanic would be very similar to that of during the Tortage run with the Fiend portals. And you could destroy them and they would respawn, and you could use them and jump into them and they would take you to another predetermined part on the map.
Huh.
And you could there would be a couple of maps that would be made that would have this portal mechanic.
I would like that.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think it would be kind of interesting. I don't know what it would look like on the screen. It would make recons very delicious. Because, like, the jumping around and stuff. But
Yeah.
Glacy says, I think it would be too overpowered. The thing with it being too overpowered is everyone would use it, A, and B, everyone would break them. Like, all the time. They wouldn't be around for it. Like, one person would go through and then they'd get broken.
Yeah.
So-
Or you can just keep them up. Enemies can break them, but you can't go through it again because it's on a cooldown.
Exactly. The same as the Fiend portals. Again, you could break the Fiend portals with a few whacks, and then it would come back after a while.
Yeah.
So, Snakes also suggests putting me in a Fiend portal and closing it behind, so I stay stuck. And if you go to the link that's on our website, which is skellelite.com/arsenal, and you can read about his idea on our forums, the skellelite.com forums, he has a poll up for how you would react to having me put in a Fiend portal and closing it behind me. You'd run into two problems. Spawn campers and strikers would be too OP. I don't see how strikers are any more OP just because they can get around the map faster, since everyone can get around the map faster. And then spawn campers would make people camp there. Well, not if the other team breaks the portal and then goes and captures points. They won't camp there. No one will go through that portal.
Yeah.
You don't have to go through the portal, especially if there's multiple portals. If there's multiple sets, not just a single one. Like, from his idea, it sounds like there's multiple sets of portals. He does suggest one being inside the base, which I think is interesting, like a team-only portal to get to the middle of the map or something like that,
Yeah, that would be interesting.
which would be kind of interesting.
That would be like in TF2, payload races. The spawns progress
Move up.
forward as the thing goes forward.
Huh, that would also be
as
interesting.
points are captured, you can teleport at the points or something like that. I don't know.
That would be interesting. That would make it easier for the team that's winning to keep winning, though.
Yeah.
I feel like. So, maybe not. I don't know. I like the idea. Seems pretty viable to me. I'd love to see a map.
Yeah.
Also a Fiend-themed map, like a map actually in the underground kind of theme. Because we have a lot of other themes, but we don't really have a Fiend City kind of underworld map. So
Yeah,
that'd be
that'd be
kinda cool,
interesting.
too. So, he's also saying the portals are not automatically coming back. So maybe once you destroy it, it's gone. Avenue is not really a Fiend map. It really isn't. Like an actual purple tile set themed buildings around kind of places. It's like once it's destroyed, recons rebuild the portals, Snake says, the author of the idea.
It's an
That would make
interesting thought.
that would make it too hard. No one would ever rebuild them. They'd get destroyed at the beginning, and then that would be it, I think. I don't think everyone would have any reason to use them. Especially, like, it would be one of those things where a recon would rebuild it, and then someone on the other side of the portal would just cut it down again, and then that would be the end of it. Sky Scythe is saying there is no feed map compared to Freeze Drudgeries or the Heart of Ice tile set. Consider it to any Freeze map, dude, but it's blue, not purple. Okay, we're talking in a stock Underworld map, but I'm supposed to ignore the Sky Scythe rage, so never mind. Alright, well, we've got actually
Doing well on that.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm good at ignoring people. I like people too much to ignore them. I don't know. We do have some art, and it's really cool art, and Zebramf's in here, so let's get into it. Spiral Order Recon. I got it! Yikes! Our first piece of art here in our Spiral Knights related media is Shovel Knight by Zebramf. I mean, you're here. Do you want to talk about this?
I guess.
Or I can tell you the story that you told me, but...
Story behind it. For those of you familiar with the game Shovel Knight, it's basically that it's just a Spiral Knight, Spiral Spy model sort of thing, photoshopped to look like the main protagonist in the game Shovel Knight. Just something random that came to my mind, and that's the whole story behind it. Really, there's not much to it.
It looks pretty good, though.
Yeah, 5 minutes to model, 20 minutes to edit. Like, it took way longer to edit than I ever expected it to.
What kind of edits had to be done?
The shovel, if you're looking at it, the shovel is not naturally blue. That had to be colored blue very carefully. There was no way to get a black visor in Spiral Spy. That was yellow originally, so I had to color that black very carefully. And the horns were not normally white. They were I think those were blue. And that was kind of tricky to get to turn white and then still keep the texture on it. A lot more work than you'd think.
Yeah, but it looks really good.
Thank you.
Compared to the original, and it's very nice. Spiral Knights. Crossovers are the best, basically.
Glacies likes it.
Yeah, he's having a seizure in the chat, in all caps. We have Krakow's Sword Flowchart. This is pretty great, honestly. This is a PDF file through Dropbox, so don't be afraid to click the linky. Krakow's not going to hurt you. But this is a flowchart to kind of follow you, like it tracks you through what kind of sword you want to use based on certain parameters. So he's got his whole, do you want a proper sword or a sword for fun? And you go one way if you want fun, go one way if you want a proper sword. Do you want a fast sword or one with knockback? Does a 5-hit combo with almost no utility sound good? And then that goes to Dread Venom Striker or Wild Hunting Blade, or depending on what you want. Status and Projectiles goes to win million, and like it's the whole thing. He's got a whole built-out thing here, and you can kind of see his thing. He's even got one like Shadow or Elemental damage. Shadow. Do you want a usable charge or a bit more combo damage? Charge for the Faust, combo damage for the Grand Faust. And he's got this whole thing, and it leads all the way around, and it's very nice, and it makes a lot of sense. And I have a hard time disagreeing with most of it, though I haven't seen where the Leviathan Blade leads.
Yeah.
Proper sword, power utility, heavier medium sword, medium, excessive knockback, and extra damage. Leviathan Blade. Okay, well, it's not bad. It's pretty good. I like it a lot. That's really useful. Might as well go with the tier list, thank you, that I have on the website. So, really nice stuff. So, thanks for making that, dude, and thanks for sharing it with me. We've got Draconos' Relatively Inappropriate Music Choice Vortex Edition. So, he's the first one to go ahead and follow the call to make a RIMC, an RIMC, a Relatively Inappropriate Music Choice version. He made the Vortex version. So, there's one. It's not in... He made it really quick, he said, so it's not in the exact same flavor of Spickens, but it doesn't have to be, and that's the best part. So, I'm still working on mine. Again, the time is a bit of an issue, but I can just record whenever, and that's kind of nice. So, I'm getting mine together.
I have to go work on one as well.
Yeah.
Gotta have something to do.
There you go. I think I'm going to go ahead and... I don't know, honestly, which one I want to do yet. It's kind of tough. Though I'm thinking about, like, the snaps. The cold snap, static flash, firecracker. I kind of want to do that one. The mini bombs. I don't know what I would do. What would you guys do? I'm going to probably do multiple even. I don't know. Alright. Well, you'll have to wait and watch. Any relatively inappropriate music choice video that you make, model it after Spickens, use the same song from the bridge to the end, or from the bridge to however far you get, and it's fine if you fade it out, and that's cool, or edit it down. And then go ahead and send it to us, and we will feature it on the show regardless of its quality, because we want to make this a thing.
Funny.
It's funny, it's hilarious. I've also got a playlist on the Arsenal Podcast channel, youtube.com/SklayElite, and so we'll be amalgamating all of them there, and it's fun. So we got a couple, just Draconos is in there right now. Last one is HRPB's Just Heat It, which is a parody of Beat It by Michael Jackson. Lyrics are pretty good. The whole guitar solo from Beat It is still in there. So basically there's words in the first half of the song and 2 minutes of guitar in the second half of the song with the Just Heat It refrain going. Though it's pretty clever. It sticks well with the Beat It lyrics. It resembles them, and it also communicates the Just Heat It message. As much as we would agree or disagree with actually heating it, was pretty good. So you can go ahead and watch that. It's good music. HRB's got a lot of good songs up there, and if you like parodies and things like that, you can go ahead and check him out. youtube.com/HRPBSK is his YouTube, and then also he's asking for ideas for songs, so go ahead and leave him a comment or on his channel in the discussions about what song you think he could do with that. Our Buzzar Banter is asleep still, so long as there's no gear, still new in the game to discuss, and so long as you haven't sent us something to discuss, Buzzar Banter will stay asleep. It's our gear discussion. If you want us to talk about something, let us know. We're happy to revive it.
Yeah, once the Gunner update hits, and they add like all this new armor and stuff, Bizarre Banter is going to be like the entire episode.
Yeah, well,
as opposed to none of the episode.
We might even have to have a special Gunner update episode.
We probably will, as we do with most other updates.
Yeah.
And it'll be mostly news and discussion and stuff. And then we'll probably give it some time to get used to the items, and then we'll get to the Buzzar Banter. We'll probably have to give it a little bit of time.
We'll do a breaking news report, then like an in-depth study.
There you go.
Like,
perfect.
Well, the breaking news report, like everything, like this is what came out, this is what came out, this is what came out, and then like we use it for a couple of weeks, and then we're like, oh, this is what's good, this is what's not as good. I mean, this is what you want to, this is what's good for this mission and this mission, like, because you won't know all that stuff until you've tried it all out.
Mm-hmm. And so there's our Buzzar Banter. It's a good point. So we'll get to that, and yes, Gunner Update will bring some stuff. But until then, if you want to tell us, hey, talk about this, talk about that, we're happy to. Armors, guns, swords, bomb shields, helmets, trinkets, we'll discuss them if you want us to. But we've gone through everything already, so if our discussion from the first time wasn't enough, or you don't care to go back and look for it, let us know. Happy to bring that back. Alright, we got some unique variants, some particular interesting story about trolling in the game, so let's get to that.
I almost completely forgot about this segment.
Ladies and gentlemen, your unique variants.
The segment of really talk about nothing because no one sends us anything.
Yeah.
Alright, first thing I want to do as a priority is ask Sir Jinx, just out of curiosity, not out of implication or anything like that. But where are we on our episode 50 animated? Because I'm still looking forward to that. I'm still on the edge of my seat. I want to see the work he's done for the animated Spiral Spy episode 50.
I'm looking forward to that. That'll be awesome.
It's going to be amazing. So just curious, where are we on that? This is just going to be really fun. In the meantime, Sir Greenlink sent me a story this week because we vehemently suggested that you never heat your shields beyond what is necessary for them to be heated. Like, never heat a 3-star shield, heat a 4-star shield to level 5, never heat a 5-star shield. Because of the bonus that it gives...
No, it's 3-star to 5, and then 4-star to 10.
Yes, thank you. Though if the shield doesn't need heating, i.e. the heater shield... what's the shield that's 3-star? Swift Strike, and what's the other one that gives health?
Scarlet?
Scarlet, thank you.
Is it Scarlet? I don't know.
Yeah, it is. Those never need heating. They confer such a small amount from 0 to 10, like a 2% difference, that there's literally nothing in the game that will differentiate between absorbing an extra hit or not. Like, maybe it'll make your shield bash recharge faster by an eighth of a second, or maybe in some cases in tier 1 you could get hit by 2 lumbers simultaneously and then poked by a gremlin and maybe your shield doesn't break. But it's just so impractical that it doesn't even belong on Spawn Knight's Impractical. So we said, just don't do it. It's so bad. Spend your fire crystals somewhere else. And Greenlink, just go ahead. He sent me this, and he says, so I decided to completely ignore your advice about not heating shields and heat a Swift Strike buckler for the lols. Throughout the course of my forging, I had 2 double level ups, 2 heat bonuses, and a forged prize box to top it all off. So I'm pretty sure that's beyond trolling. XD.
That's crazy.
That's the game masters are just pushing the button while they're watching him do it. Like, okay, he's doing it now. Push the button.
Yeah, I don't even know, but it's kind of crazy. So,
I think I've only ever gotten like a forged prize box once in my 20-so things that I've heated since rarities were a thing.
I've heated many things since rarities were a thing, and I've never gotten a forged prize box.
I've never gotten one either.
Well, then I guess I'm the lucky one amongst us.
There you go. Sir Jinxable says he's been working on this episode 50 for about 36 weeks, about 9 months. So he's made a baby, basically. This is his baby project. And he's saying he's just finishing the credits, it looks like. I'm trying to find where he exactly said it.
He says, got the credits.
Got the credits. Wow. Well then...
does that mean it's almost done?
Is it done?
Can we
watch it? I'd watch it right now.
No, I doubt that. 9 months and only got the credits done? No.
That'd be hilarious. Alright, well, in the meantime, we'll get to him when he puts out... What's the percentage of getting a forged prize box as Disharmony? Really, really low.
It's so low there's not even a percentage
do some research for you.
Sir Jinxable says it's basically outright done. So how about shout out to Sir Jinxable for being the amazing, like, animator of a 40-minute radio play, which is ridiculous, and making it. So the export's going to be a crazy kind of big file.
It's going to take like 2 days.
Yeah, but Sir Jinx, if you would talk to me before you put it up on like any kind of media hosting site, because I just we want to do a live screening of it first, kind of thing. So let me know. Anyways, yeah, I'll talk to you afterwards about the details. Shouting out and heading out. Shout out to Sir Greenlink, because as always, as of late, he's been the one who's basically putting together our show notes in these weeks, kind of giving ideas for discussions. Most of this show was his work. He's also putting things in the right format so I can get them easily put together and put on the website and stuff like that. So really appreciate it. You do good work, sir, and thanks for that.
I salute to thee.
Yep.
Can't find anything about like percent chances of getting forged prize boxes, so I'm gonna say 1 to 5%.
I'm saying it's less than
kind of
1%.
a big range.
Less than 1%. I've heated over 100 things and haven't gotten. I mean, that doesn't mean it's 1%, but still.
Yeah, I'd say it's Maybe. I'd say it's about 1%.
Yeah, more around there.
Anyways, that is a disagreement.
Snake 17 says it's 5%. The rankings are just everywhere. Negative 0.06%. Whatever. We don't know the exact number. Someone probably does.
Alright, well, cool beans. That will be the end of episode 85. We'll end on something we don't know, because there's a lot of things we don't know. And so you can go ahead and tell a friend about us if you want to listen, if you want to help promote the podcast. That's how we get the word out, and it's basically the only way we just tell people. You can contact us. You can call us at 1-678-322-7765 if you want to say hi, leave the name of your night, and just tell us things. We like hearing things from you. You can find us on Steam. All of our accounts are there. Zebramf, we've talked about us already, and most of the people that are regulars have us on Steam already. But I'm Lattice Sklay. Usually Lord Hood is Lord Hood. Zebramf is Zebramf. So
it's pretty easy. Straightforward.
It's pretty straightforward like that. And Zang is Zang Mangusu, as always. But he's not part of this show anymore because he's dead. I mean, not dead. Definitely not dead. We also have a Steam.
Talking about that.
We have a Steam group you can find. Basically, we use that to announce when this show is going live. We live stream every episode of the podcast at 2 p.m. Eastern Time at livestream.com/thearsenalpodcast. You can find out when we do that because we post events and notices there through the Steam group. And then also when we stream. So that's fun. You can email us at arsenal@sklayelite.com. And our website where you can see all the links from this episode. So Krakow's flowchart and Draconos' relatively inappropriate music choice video and everything else is on our website, sklayelite.com/arsenal, along with every episode of the podcast. So that'll be it, I believe.
Sounds like it.
Sounds like it.
Thanks everyone for listening.
Hooray.
And remember, the Almire Legion, what does it do? I'm drawing a blank. How do we finish this? The Almire Legion.
Tune in next week for Compound 42 tips, strategies, know-how, everything you need to know, and how much I hate it.
Amen.
And other people hate it.
That'll be us for this week. We're out. See y'all next time. Have a good one.
Adios.
Geared up and ready to go? Thanks for listening to The Arsenal, a Spiral Knights podcast. See links and listen to previous episodes on our website, sklayelite.com/arsenal. Send comments, questions, and audio to arsenal@sklayelite.com or give us a call at 1-678-322-7765.
I got pizza.
Sweet.
I made a mistake when I was ordering my pizza last night. Somehow, when I was ordering it, I put in an option to replace the pizza sauce with ranch dressing. Somehow. So I am now eating a pepperoni and extra cheese pizza with ranch dressing instead of pizza sauce. And it is surprisingly good.
Huh.
Huh.
That'd be interesting.
So, there you go. That is the story of last night's dinner.